Hi everyone, welcome. Welcome to habit number 10 of the Ayurvedic habit building program. We're on our last habit today. Today's habit is post meal rituals. Let me start by sharing my screen here. Right. So, post meal rituals. Um, let's begin our session as always with presence pause and breath regulation that I'm going to guide you through. I request you all to be seated in a comfortable position and close your eyes if possible. Let's begin by bringing your awareness to your breath. Simply observe your breath without changing anything and notice any natural changes in your breath as you observe it. Now shift your attention to your stomach. Observe any sensations in your stomach without labeling them or judging them or naming what they are. Simply be present with any sensations. Now shift your attention to your feet. Notice any sensations there if your feet are touching the ground. Be present with sensations on your feet. Now watch your posture without correcting it. Simply observe your posture. Now notice what's running on your mind. Just watch your thoughts without engaging with them and judging them. Simply notice what's running on your mind. Now, how alert or tired do you feel in your body? How alert or tired do you feel in your body? And where do you feel it in your body? Where do you feel it in your body? Let's take three deep breaths. Inhale on the count of four. One, two, three, four. Exhale. One, two, three, four, five, six. Inhale. One, two, three, four. Exhale. One, two, three, four, five, six. Inhale. One, two, three, four. Exhale. One, two, three, four, five, six. Take a few more seconds to be present with your feeling. And open your eyes. We can begin today's session. As I mentioned, we are on habit number 10, our final habit on post meal rituals. And this is Awareness Week. Last week, we covered mealtime rituals, which includes before meal rituals and during meal rituals. And this week, we are beginning our post meal rituals. And before we begin, as always, I invite you to take some time to check in on your progress on all of the previous habits. I know this slide looks quite full now. We have 9 habits that we've covered so far, and including presence pause, we have 10. I know many of you followed through most of these habits and may have missed some of these. I request you all to go to the YouTube playlist, which contains all the recordings of the previous sessions, and watch the sessions that you may have missed and slowly incorporate the habits that you may have missed before, and also take some time to reflect on how you're progressing on habits that you've already incorporated. And there is always room for improvement, and you may be uh, slacking on some of these, although you may have started. So it helps to take some time to reflect on how you're progressing on this and how you can further improve on those habits. All of these habits cover various aspects of the day, including morning and meal times and some self care like oral care. So these are a very comprehensive set of habits. So I request you all to like not miss out on any habit and watch the recordings and incorporate whatever feels right for you. Let's begin talking about post meal rituals. As we discussed while we covered the previous habit about the importance of meal times, the importance of meal times on our digestion and overall health, and how we can make our meal times a time for great opportunity for wellness. And last couple weeks, we explored mealtime rituals, both what we do before a meal, which includes practices like pausing before eating or gratitude, and what we do during a meal, like cultivating mindful eating habits or bringing more awareness to your meal. And today, we're extending that conversation to what happens after a meal. Once we finish eating, the body continues the important work of digestion. And our post meal habits either support that process or make it more challenging. And these rituals may seem like very small habits, but they can have a meaningful impact over time. Digestion itself is the foundation of health. Digestion is the foundation of health as per Ayurveda. And when digestion functions well, it supports energy, nourishment, comfort, or well being. So it's key to include practices in our daily day-to-day life that support our digestion. And when digestion is challenged, you notice things like heaviness, sluggishness, or bloating, or discomfort. No single habits, no single habit truly impacts your health. It's a combination of everything you do throughout the day. So the small things that you do consistently after meals can contribute to supportive environment for your digestion. So certain habits may not be particularly supportive immediately after eating, such as, say, lying down or engaging in intense exercise. But there are certain rituals that you can incorporate post meals to further support your digestion process and your blood sugar regulation post meal, and overall influence your meal assimilation, the nutrient assimilation from your food better. So these actions, as I said, are simple. They don't require too much of like a time commitment, but over time they're very powerful. Before we talk about the two post-meal rituals that I'm going to introduce you to, let's go over some things that you should certainly avoid post-meal. First thing is lying down. Lying down in on the bed. Lying down is not really recommended as per Ayurveda post meals, and there are exceptions to it. Exceptions like, say, if you're pregnant, or if you're not feeling well, if you're sick, or if you've missed a considerable amount of time of sleep during the night, you can compensate for that during by taking a nap in the afternoon. That should be okay. But besides these exceptions, generally it's not recommended taking a nap post meal, unless also if the weather is too hot and it's summertime, it's okay to nap for some time. But it's important to remember that post meal nap should always be done in a reclined position. If you're seeing the slide, the reclining position that you see, that is the position that is recommended that you should take post meal if you're napping at all. And exercise intensely. Exercise, we discussed it during our exercise habit. We should wait at least an hour or 2 hours after a full meal to perform exercise, because the blood flow is redirected to our extremities, to our skin, for example, when we exercise, and that impacts your digestion. And any stressful activity post meal should be avoided in order to support your digestion better. So let's look at the two main practices that I recommend post meal. The first is Shatapavali. It's an Ayurvedic recommendation. It's called 100-step walk. And this, you don't have to really count 100 steps, but roughly speaking, it is a gentle walk, a short, gentle walk post meal. And this is not a time where you like take a brisk walk or workout, but it's simply a short, relaxed walk that creates a smooth transition after eating. And what's fascinating is that modern science is also increasingly validating this ancient practice. Research shows that even a short walk after meals can help muscles utilize some of the glucose from the meal, and it helps reduce the post meal blood sugar spike and supports overall blood sugar regulation. So, gentle movement after eating can support the natural movement of food through our digestive tract and reduces sense of bloating or heaviness or sluggishness that some of us experience post meal. So this is really helpful of a very short, say a 5-minute walk even post meal is helpful. And the second practice is Vajrasan, also known as diamond pose or thunderbolt pose. This is simply kneeling in a seated posture, and it's unique because it's one of the very few yoga poses that is recommended immediately after meals. It supports digestion, it reduces gas and bloating, and it helps create a more grounded state after eating. Rather than lying down, this pose is most recommended post meals, and even modern research suggests that this posture is helpful, especially because it allows you to stay more upright. It allows you to stay more upright, and also think about it. It allows you to take the time to rest and digest rather than jumping into an activity immediately. So both these practices, they create a supportive transition after a meal. And many of us, I work in a corporate office, for example, and especially at lunch times, our time is limited. And we immediately jump back to work post meal. And worse, sometimes even eat as we sit at our desk working. So these mealtime rituals and post-meal rituals help separate the act of eating from the other activity that we do. And this separation is important, as I mentioned, because our body cannot do both. It cannot focus on, say, intaking some information or like watching social media and also focusing on our food. Our body cannot do both at the same time. So it's ideal to limit your other activity during meal times and really be present with your food, and even post meals create that smooth transition back into your daily activity. And this week we're not trying to implement these rituals. I invite you to just be familiar with these practices, but and next week we'll focus on practical ways to start incorporating one or both of these rituals or whatever works for you into your daily routine. And this week it's about awareness. We're not trying to change our habits yet. As I mentioned, we're simply becoming more aware of what's happening. Oftentimes, we jump into fixing things without understanding our current patterns. So, this awareness gives us that foundation of understanding what you currently do. After meals, I invite you to start paying attention to your energy levels. Do you typically feel energized and clear headed? Do you feel calm or satisfied? Do you find yourself becoming sleepy or sluggish or mentally foggy? Notice your energy levels post meal. And next, notice your digestive experience. Do you experience bloating or gas or heaviness or fullness after certain meals? And do you generally feel light and comfortable? This is also something you can notice. And next, observe your current post meal habits. What do you do after eating? After different meals, after breakfast or lunch, what do you do? After dinner, what do you do? Do you continue sitting? Do you reach for your phone? Or do you immediately return to work? Or do you lie down or take a nap? And or do chores? Simply notice your default pattern and do not judge it. Just simply be present and aware of what you're currently doing. And with this awareness, also bring in the awareness of how this post meal habits are making you feel. And are these, if you look for connections and patterns, there are certain meals after which you may feel better than others. Do you notice differences based on how much you eat or what you do afterwards? This is something that you can become aware of. And does movement seem to make a difference in how you're feeling after meal? Or are you sitting for long periods of time post meal too? And how does that make you feel? So the goal this week is to just analyze and be aware of how you're feeling. And then next week, we will work on implementing these rituals. Any questions? Right. I want to remind you all once again that all the sessions that you may have missed are recorded and you can find them in the YouTube playlist. Even sometimes I may miss sharing them on the WhatsApp group. So you can still find them in the same YouTube playlist. So you can check out all the missed sessions and, follow up. If you have any questions, reach out to me outside the session too. All right. If nobody has anything, I'll see you all next week. Thank you.